Teaching of technology is something that we don't do a lot of at the elementary level. We do have excellent computer classes that are very focused on things like HTML or coding or other computer-specific concepts, but those typically don't hit a wide range of students. They're an elective, and so certain students that are interested will take that at the secondary level. The notion of coding is kind of an exciting one, where we're seeing a lot of students start to take the initiative on their own to learn it. And so you're probably familiar with that notion of School 2.0, and now these people talking about Schooling 3.0. And Schooling 3.0 is really self-directed learning, right? It's the individual directed studies at high school. At the elementary level, we're starting to see students wanting to pick up the basics of coding, and because there's so many websites available, kind of through the code.org, which had that nice video, kids are able to get started without necessarily having a specific curriculum. So I think there's a bit of a decision to make as to whether or not we want to formalize the learning. So I'll give you a story of some grade 10s at one of our high school who wanted to make an iPhone app. So this is about 18 months ago, and we don't have a class on that. They wanted to make it for their school. They wanted to make it because they were interested in the how to do it and the technology. These kids persevered over about a 6-month period, and a lot of it was despite us. We put up a lot of barriers because we couldn't give them access to our websites, and a lot of things that the adults gotten away from. And they kept going and kept going and kept going. And after 6 months, they ended up creating a very powerful app for their school, and it got downloaded 1,000 times, and it's being used by our students at one of the schools. When we asked the kids who built it, what do they need from the adults? Did you need a course on it? They kind of laughed and said, no, if you created a course for us on this, we would have never completed it. We would have never done the work because you wouldn't have been able to match our curiosity and match our speed. So once we were motivated and wanted to do this, all we needed from the adults was the support, kind of the check-in, that kind of make it enabling for us versus restricting. And I think that's where we're struggling with things like the code, things that are like around learning that technology. We need to find ways to really support the motivated students, and then decide what we need to do for all of our students, right? And so maybe there is some basic introduction pieces around how websites work and how beginning coding can actually happen, and then enable those kids that are highly motivated. And I actually think that that's a dilemma that we're going to have to face in all of our content. If you're a math student, actually, and you're highly motivated, I think a lot of times we get in the way, and instead of being enabling for them, we can be restricting. So technology is not unique in this, but it certainly is leading the way because the sites that are available to learn things on your own are so easily accessible for our students.